no, that was awful. All right. Well, let's try that again. This time as a foxtrot from the beginning, then.
This is I'm Sorry, I'll read that again. Approximately 1,800 seconds of japes, pranks, and idiosyncrasies, written by a number of videos and featuring several syncrasies. And now for a quick summary of the weather, which will be less summery than usual, that is to say, more sort of wintry. The situation at noon today was 12 o'clock precisely. And has been getting steadily later throughout the day. Temperatures everywhere will be lowered by the seasonal beverage obtainable at the millibars scattered throughout the country. Tonight there will in fact be quite a lot of weather. But actually there's not enough to go round. And Heligoland may have to go without. Tomorrow, however, tummies will be unsettled and clothing will be rather changeable. At Whipsnade, brass monkey weather is expected. And there'll be a lot of hot air around Westminster in the morning, giving way to a short spell of afternoon tea occurring about 4:30. As for shipping, quite frankly, I wouldn't try. At 6 p.m. spinach green time, the Weather Bureau issued the following gay warning of storms increasing to typhoon force in areas Lundy, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sole, plaice, cod, rock salmon. Salmon. Salmon chanted evening. I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Salmon chanted evening. A line from the wash will include Pharaoh's Fair Isle jersey, if it hasn't shrunk. And at Southend, a pier may be exposed. Well, that concludes the Ridge of High Pressure Sails. Do tune in tomorrow at the same time, whether or not you like the weather or not. Good night.
Well, dear, did you have a swinging day at the office?
Don't say swinging, dear. It dates you terribly. Well, the day has been a bit grotty, but mustn't grumble.
Oh, not grotty, pet. It's out. Anything interesting in the paper this evening?
Well, according to Jane Scott Witherspoon's column, Hessian stockings are going to be with it.
Oh, don't say with it, sweetheart. It's not switched on to say with it.
Sorry, pet.
Hessian stockings, eh?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad those white woolly ones are going out. It made me look as if I'd been standing in whitewash.
No, my love. These aren't for women.
Oh.
No, I'll just have to pop down. I'll just have to pop down to Short and Curly, the male boutique.
Yes. Oh, that'd be super. Oh, by the way, I bumped into Melissa today. She's still wearing her Cathy Gale outfit.
No.
Oh, no. She says they're going to Mallorca this year for their holidays.
Oh, really? You'd think they'd know that Mallorca has gone out of the charts. It slipped to number 21 already.
Well, that's Melissa, you know. She never could keep up.
I was thinking we might try Sarajevo. They did a piece on it in one of those gorgeous colour supplements.
Yes, Dad. I'm sure it'll be gear or fab. Or was that last year?
Gear, I should say. It shows you're not a snob.
Oh.
Snobs are out, according to Jane Scott Witherspoon. She's made out a list here, everything that's in and everything's gone out.
Oh, that's very useful. We can cut it up and hang it on the wall in the loo.
Quite.
What does she say? What does she say?
Well, she says that pop art is still in, but only just. Liverpool is out. A flight of ducks on the wall is so far out that it might come in at any moment, so watch out. Bernard Buffet's still all right.
Oh, crisp. It would leave a nasty patch on the wall after all this time. Oh, what about the newspapers? Can we read them?
No, they're all out, except for Jane Scott Witherspoon's column, that's it.
Oh, crisp.
Yes. Slip discs are out, but a broken arm is in. Socialism's out, but radical conservatism is okay. Double-breasted suits, Len Dayton and black telephones are in. Cigarette cases, Freud and Ingmar Bergman are... Oh, dear.
What's the matter, Dads? You've gone quite white.
It's this article. According to this, people are out.
People are out?
Yes, they're not in anymore.
Hey, but that's us, isn't it? We're people.
I'm afraid so, dear.
Oh.
Well, what do you think of the gas oven?
Oh, no, Dads, that was last year. Drinking weed killer is all the thing nowadays, though I have heard that jumping out of a high window is coming back.
At this point, we would like you to listen very carefully indeed. We're going to play you a piece of music which we want you to remember. It's rather a tricky tune, so concentrate very hard. I'll tell you why we want you to remember it in just a moment. Now, here's the music. Would you like it again? Well, I'm afraid you can't have it again. Now, the point is, next week, we're going to tell you a joke about it. And now, modern sounds in country and western.
When the shadows are creeping and the children are sleeping and I'm gently slumbering too, from away down the trail comes a spine-chilling wail.
I love you, I do.
Yippee. When the shadows have fled and I'm safe in my bed and I think that my troubles are few, I'll be roused from my dreams by those ear-splitting screams.
I love you, I do. How can I make you love me? How can I sing to you?
When the grizzlies are growling and coyotes are howling, as grizzlies and coyotes do. There is one noise more foul than the coyotes howl.
I love you, I love you.
1942. Britain is at war.
How?
But in the briefing rooms up and down the country, the gallant boys of the RAF calmly prepare to meet the foe.
Okay, come on, quieten down. Stop fighting at the back there. Don't you know there's a war on? Right, now it's my job to welcome you all here. See, my name is Squadron Leader Hancock, but you can all call me Sir. Now, I'm welcoming you on behalf of your CO, Wing Commander Clayton, affectionately known round here as Yellow Belly. And he'll be greeting you himself just as soon as we can persuade him to come up out of the air raid shelter. Now, you'll recognize him easily enough. He cries a lot. Now, you men are a new draft here at Farnsworth and consequently due for 3 months intensive training in flying the new B-27 bombers. However, since Jerry is on our tail right now, we're going to ask you to take the planes up now, and we'll give you your training later on. That's a promise. I'm sure you'll find the practical experience of combat conditions will come in very useful when you get to the theoretical work. And from our point of view, it's a jolly good way of weeding out the dubs. Now, let's see. Who here has flown a B-27? Anyone flown a B-12? Anyone flown before? Who can drive? Ah, there we are. Stand up. Let's have a look at you. All right, take your glasses off. Okay, you can be flight lieutenant. Now, the rest of you get into groups of 3. Hurry up. Now, each 3 is a crew. You can decide amongst yourselves who's going to be pilot, navigator, and so on and so forth. Just one word about the radios. Well, we do hope to have them in the planes by next week, but for the moment, I'm afraid you're just going to have to keep in touch by telephone. So, don't forget, take along plenty of loose change. And pilots fly in a really close formation, otherwise you're going to snap the wires. See what I mean? Right. Well, I think that's all from me, so now here's Wing Commander Springboard, and he's going to tell you about the bombs.
Now, about the bombs, there are 4 main points. 1, 2, 4, and 3. Point 1, don't ignore the other 3 points. Point 2, you each have 3 bombs, and each bomb is the size of a man. So before you drop the bombs, make sure they're bombs. Point 4, because we're a bit short on bombs, we want you to take along some broken bottles and rotten fruit and some really cold water. Because this time we want to hit them really hard, you see. Now, this is going to be a surprise raid. We haven't told the Germans you're coming. So when you get near enemy territory, for God's sake, keep your voices down. Point 3, this is also going to be a low-flying raid. We want you to bring back a live German. Packet of cornflakes, 2 pounds of sugar, a jar of marmalade.
Yes, thank you very much, Winko. Now, in the very likely event of your plane getting shot down, or if you do quite simply fall out, there's one thing to remember, try and keep your minds occupied until you hit the ground. Now, if you do happen to land safely, just take my advice, try and get captured, and then keep a diary. There's going to be an absolute fortune to be made out of war stories.
If you can, do try and visit the art gallery in Munich. It's well worthwhile.
Right, now here's Wing Commander Sidekick, and he's going to tell you about the raid itself.
Now, men, tonight we are going to bomb Frankfurt. At least you're going to bomb Frankfurt. By Jove, I wish I was coming with you, but somebody's got to stay behind and do the planning.
Somebody stays back here and do the planning.
Now, Frankfurt is on the sea.
No, but
It's not on the sea.
I don't think it is on the sea.
Oh dear me, I've made one of my silly mistakes so far. In that case, you better all look at your maps. You've all got maps, have you?
Everybody got a map?
I'm sorry they're a bit out of date. You'll just have to do the best you can, okay? Now, you fly over Gaul, and you drop the bombs just north of the Holy Roman Empire. That's just below the G of land of the Visigoths, fine? Now, our target in Frankfurt is the armament factory, and that is between the railway station and the cathedral. And here's a picture of the cathedral in Cologne, and I'm told it's very like the one in Frankfurt, so there should be no difficulty there. All right, best of luck, man.
Thank you very much, Winko. Right then, you'll be taking off very soon now, so let's all synchronize our watches, shall we, okay? In just 10 seconds from now, it will be a few minutes after 8. Okay, chaps, now finally, we'd like to leave you...
Hurry along, please. Hold tight. Yeah, wait a minute, not so fast, mate. You're not bringing that on my bus.
I beg your pardon?
I say you're not bringing that thing on my bus. I'm not having that on my bus, all right? Go on, off you get, off you get.
You can't do that. I can ride on your bus if I want
Look, it's not you I'm objecting to, mate. You can ride on my bus till you're blue in the face for all I care. I mean, you can sit upstairs from Cockfosters to Boreham Wood for all it affects me. I mean, it's no skin off my shoulder, is it? But what I do say is you can't bring that, whatever it is, on my bus, all right? All right.
Now, look here. I want to get from A to B, and your bus happens to be the most convenient way of getting there. Look, You seem to be a reasonable sort, and I'm quite prepared to pay a little extra.
Don't you start that bribery and corruption like on me, mate. I'm not having that thing on my bus, and that's flat, right? You can get off this platform and take that whatever it is thing, whatever... What is it, anyway? As a matter of interest, what is that thing, anyway, that you're trying to bring on my bus? What is it, eh?
It's my mother-in-law.
Is it?
Yes, and if you don't mind...
She's horrible.
That is a matter of opinion.
Well, my opinion is that she's horrible.
I don't especially want to hear your opinion. All I want is to be able to get her into your bus.
Look, Chief, if I say she doesn't come on a bus, she doesn't come on a bus. And that's final. Now, if you went down on your twisted knees, I'd still have to say no. I mean, look, how would I look to the lads up at the depot if they saw me with my bus loaded up with articles of furniture like that? I mean, can you imagine it? My double-decker filled up with wardrobes and sofas.
This is not a sofa.
You could have fooled me.
Now, wait a minute. I'm not having you insulting my mother-in-law.
I never insulted her, mate. I just said she looked like a sofa. Now, where's the insult in that? You tell me that. Where's the insult?
Well, then, how do you suggest I transport my mother-in-law? Tell me that. Go on, tell me that.
Well, you could try parcel post.
Parcel post? Are you serious? I happen to be very fond of my mother-in-law.
Well, I'm very fond of mine too, mate. But you don't catch me dashing about on buses with her.
I don't suppose it's crossed your tiny little bird brain that she'd like to get out occasionally, see new faces, new places. A bit of fresh air to blow away the cobwebs does a bit of good, you know. An afternoon in the sun gives them something to brood over behind the system. Oh, yes. I should say.
Do you know, I never thought of it like that before. It's the honest truth, Captain. Honest truth, honestly. I never thought of it in that way before.
Quite.
You know, yeah, what's she doing? I'm not having her doing that on my bus. No, you stop her doing that.
She's just knitting.
Is she?
Yes, she is.
It's horrible.
Now, wait a minute.
Well, look, you stop her doing it. Look, you stop her doing that, and I'll tell you what. You stop her, and I'll let you bring her on. All right? On a bus, right?
Well, thank you very much indeed.
Well, there's gratitude for you.
What?
Isn't it? I mean, I do you a favour and you get all sarcastic. That's very pleasant. That's very mannerly. That is very nice.
Now, look. I've tucked her away in the luggage compartment so nobody can trip over, okay? Now, if it's not too much to ask, I'd like a ticket.
All right. Keep your hair on.
Keep my hair on? All this trouble about a ridiculous little quibble? I've never known anything like it. I shall very...
All right. Look, I've let you on a bus, haven't I? Now, just sit down and cool off, will you? Carrying on like that. Now then, where do you want to go to?
Istanbul, please.
If you've looked at the hit parade recently, you'll notice that on it are many songs about death. Songs in which young people mourn the passing of their sweethearts, killed in car crashes or in motorbike accidents or somehow. And we admire this kind of honesty in a song, and we feel that perhaps one could be even more honest. She was just 16, she was tall and lean, she was as ugly as could be. But I'm ugly too, so she had to do, she was the only girl for me. Oh well, the poets find that love is blind, but alas, it isn't true. 'Cause in the still of the night I shake with fright when I remember you. Oh yeah, my baby's gone and I ought to be sad, but to tell you the truth, I'm really glad. 'Cause I was sick of the sight of her plain old face, and now she's gone to a better place. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone, oh yes, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone. One day for my tea, she gave to me my favorite meal of fish, and strange to relate, she met her fate, struck down by her own sweet dish. With a bone in her throat, she was mortally smoked. She died on the kitchen floor, and to me it seemed she had never been so beautiful before. Oh yeah, my baby's gone and I ought to be sad, but to tell you the truth, I'm really glad. 'Cause I was sick of the sight of her plain old face, and now she's gone to a better place. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone, oh yes. in some heavenly land where bones are banned, I seem to hear her say,
don't you cry, for we all must die, but someday we're gonna be out of our pain and together again.
and that's what's worrying me. Oh yeah, man, baby's gonna let her ought to be sad, but if you tell me the truth, then maybe that 'cause I was sick of the sight of her plain old face, and now she's gone to better place. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone. Thank the Lord, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone. She's gone.
Dear sir, as a regular reader of your paper, I'm writing to protest about the amount of tomato eating on television. In this week alone, I've seen 7.5 instances of this practice. The half instance being an actor who picked up a tomato, but was shot before it reached his lips. I know that there are those who will say that the eating of tomatoes is part of life. But to them I would answer, is it necessary to have our noses rubbed in the fact? There's a gayer, brighter side to life as well. Bananas and pineapples, to name but a few. Why cannot television share us more of this? Nowadays, with moral standards tottering around us, there are too many pseudo-intellectuals and satirists ever ready to exploit the lure of the tomato, ready to point out how plump and firm they are, to arouse that feeling you get as your teeth bite through the taut, shiny skin, and the way the pips slide down your throat, with just the occasional one that nestles into your teeth, to be picked out with an axe. It's filth, I say! Filth! Filth! It's got to be snapped out! Out! Well, must close now, as Panorama's about to start, and I feel it my duty to keep a close eye on Mr. Dimbleby. Yours sincerely, Ronald Tweed, Tooting. P.S. Please renew my subscription to Horticultural Weekly and send as usual under plain cover.
Good morning. Welcome to the Harmony Hearts Marriage Bureau.
Good morning, Miss Hopgood.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Thackeray. I'm so sorry. I thought it was a client.
No, don't apologize, Miss Hopgood. I'm glad to see that you're on your toes with the welcome rising to your lips for all our prospective clients. Remember, our marriage bureau is founded on friendliness and mutual trust. Whose are these feet?
I beg your pardon?
These feet in the corner, to whom do they belong?
I'm sure I don't know, sir. They were here when I came in.
Well, perhaps you would be so kind as to remove them. They are blocking the door to my office.
Yes, they are rather big. As a matter of fact, I tried to shift them earlier, but they're so huge I just couldn't budge them.
Well, then perhaps our combined efforts will succeed where yours alone have failed. In a situation like this, as in a successful marriage, mutual intent and cooperation can move mountains.
Oh, feet, Mr. Thackeray.
Or indeed feet. Right. Now then, 1, 2, 3, heave!
Oh, they're not moving, Mr. Thackeray.
No. It would appear that these feet are connected above the ankle to a pair of stout shins. Well, the question now posed is to whom do these shins belong?
Fee-a-fi-a-fo-a-fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman.
You spoke, Miss Hopgood?
No, sir. It seemed to come from up there.
Up there? Good heavens. Do you see what I see, Miss Hopgood? Now, keep a cool head. Act naturally. I shall speak to it. Good morning, up there. I am Arnold Thackeray of the Harmony Hearts Marriage Bureau. I'm afraid I didn't quite catch your...
Grumble groaned the giant.
Yes, how do you do? And how may I be of assistance?
I want to get married.
Dear me. A hasty heart is not the soundest basis for matrimonial intent, Miss Hopgood.
Oh, I shall make a note of that, Mr. Thackeray.
Yes, I wish you would.
I want to marry her.
Who?
Oh, I think he means me.
Oh, no, that is quite out of the question, Mr. Grumble-Groan. No, that I positively forbid.
You do you?
Yes.
Ho, 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 ho. I shall very probably eat you.
Oh, Mr. Thackeray.
Now, courage, Miss Hopgood, I shall not fail you. Now, Mr. Mr. Giant, let's talk man to man. Cigarette?
Thank you.
Oh, now tell me, sir, why do you come to me for help in finding a mate?
Because nobody's ever loved me. I'm so ugly.
Oh, come. Faint heart ne'er won fair lady.
But I've also got 2 heads.
Oh, yes, I see. Would you care for another cigarette?
Thanks again.
Now, Mr. Grumblegrown, now surely you can see that your betrothal to my secretary is out of the question. Why, the whole idea is quite bizarre.
Oh, I don't know. You'd be someone to look up to.
Please, Miss Hopgood, try not to complicate matters. I am acting in your best interests. Now, sir, as I have said, good looks are only skin deep. Surely you have other points which would attract the right sort of lady to you.
I am very strong. Ha, why, with my little finger, I could crush that filing cabinet to tiny fragments.
Bodily strength is no substitute for strength of...
See? With one puff of my breath, I could blow down that wall.
Yes, sound in wind and limb indeed, but,
No! Out of my way, little man. Miss Hopgood is the woman for me.
Blinded by passion, I fear, Miss Hopgood.
Oh, dear.
But have no fear, I shall cope. Trust in me. Physical violence may not always cool the passionate breast, but under the circumstances, I shall have no hesitation. Very well, then. Take that!
Mr. Thackeray, he's gone. Oh, what did you do?
Punched him on the ankle, Miss Hopgood.
Oh, you were wonderful.
Oh, no, come. A lady in distress, you know.
Oh,
I really...
Arnold.
Oh, I... Prudence.
That was I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again, and it was produced by Humphrey Barclay.
Philip Tut Pancake, what did you think of it?
Enterprising, surely.
May I say I find it an almost cataclysmic experience.
Pamela Shinbach?
I was only going to say I found it an almost cataclysmic...
Oh, but fearfully reminiscent of Jean Martin's Lucky in the original French production of Waiting for Godot, surely.
Yes. The performers, Tim Brooke-Taylor, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie, who also sang the songs with Gene Hart, were indubitably,
May I say one word
Yes.
for Dave Lee, who provided the music?
It depends what the word is, Pamela Shinbach.
Malcolm Graveyard, could I just mention the writers, John Cleese and Tony Hendra, Graham Garden, Johnny Mortimer and Brian Cook, and Hugh Woodhouse? There, I've mentioned them.
Yes, well, I'd rather you didn't, Philip Tut Pancake. I don't think there's time. Pamela Shinbach.
Well, I was only going to say I found Bill Oddie's songs an almost cataclysmic...
Absolutely,
Oh, absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Malcolm Graveyard, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we can hear another program, the series I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again, next week at the same time. So, could we not postpone judgment until then?
Oh, absolutely, James Meredith.
Well, I was only going to say
You may remember that last week we played you a piece of music and asked you to remember it, so that this week we could tell you a joke about it. Well, in case you weren't listening last week, or you've simply forgotten the tune, we thought you'd like to hear it again. I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Ah, yes, remember it now? Well, the awful thing is, we've forgotten the joke. But we will have it for you next week.
This is, I'm sorry I'll read that again, half an hour of Idiot's Delight, featuring a number of idiots and coming to you on Delight.
And now it's time for Universal Challenge.
You mean University Challenge?
No, this is a send-up. Thank you, and here is your chairman and quizmaster, Bamba Gascoigne.
Ridiculous name, Bamba. 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 Bamba.
Good evening, and welcome to yet another edition of Universal Challenge. Tonight's two teams are Cambridge College, Oxford, last week's winners. Reading from left to right.
John reading Arabic from right to left.
And on his right...
Beryl, reading Chinese from top to bottom. Hello.
The yellow Beryl. And on her knee...
John Tier reading biology from bottom to bottom.
And now last, but by all means least, our challengers for this week, a team from Bermondsey. They've come a long way to have a shot at Oxford. And they've missed. And here they are, Bill, Tom, Fred, and Gerontius.
Hello.
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 Hello. Well, I won't explain the rules of the game, because I don't understand them myself. And the first question tonight goes to Oxford. Are you ready?
Yes.
Quite right. And the second question goes to Bermondsey. And here's your starter for 10 with a bonus of 30. How long is a rhubarb tart? Sorry, Bermondsey, time's up. And I'm afraid that's, to you.
And to you, mate.
Never mind, Bermondsey. Now, Oxford, your starter for 10, if you can. A musical question. What is this?
The 1812 Overture.
No, it was, in fact, Vera Lynn entertaining the troops. So that's, to you. Now, Bermondsey, here's your starter for 10.
No.
20.
No.
25.
No.
30.
No.
All right, open the box.
Thank you, Mike.
Brilliant, Bermondsey. So that's, to you, which puts Oxford, behind. Now, Oxford, here's your starter. And your bonus for 50. What is the name?
Richard Dimbleby.
Well interrupted. Well interrupted, Bermondsey, and it's over to you, Oxford. And here's your... Well, I'm afraid that means there's only 3 seconds left. So the game ends and Bermondsey have a score of... while the Oxford score is... So we'll all say... And we hope you'll all join us again next week for another edition of... And now, here is a Spot announcement. Woof! Thank you, Spot. In these days when the whole trend of our lives seems to be governed by affluence and the transient status symbol, spare a thought for the true ascetic, to whom easy living comes uneasily.
Good morning, Brother Simon.
Oh, good morning, Brother Thomas. I say I do like that habit.
Oh, do you? I was trying to give it up.
No, I mean, I do like that new hair shirt you're wearing. It looks deliciously uncomfortable.
Oh, it is. It's the new non-drip dry fibre made by man with pain in mind. It has a built-in itch in every stitch.
Oh, well, what a wonderful piece of tailoring. It must be at least 2 sizes too small under the arms. You must be suffering agonies.
Oh, I am, yes. No, anyway, I deliberately bought it on the worst hire purchase terms I could find.
Oh, you're so good.
Yes,
It's a
I'm
very
fine.
heavy winter weight material too, isn't it? Tell me.
Yes, it is, and I'm going to wear it all through the summer, so there, because the weathermen say it's going to be a real scorch. Oh, I shall sweat.
May I take this opportunity of wishing you bad health to wear it?
What a delightfully unkind thought.
Oh, there goes the breakfast bell. We'll have to hurry. Oops, nearly forgot to take my sandals off.
Now, what you going to do that for?
Well, somebody smashed a milk bottle on the stairs, and I just love the excruciating crunch of glass between my toes.
Which reminds me, what fun can a monk have?
None.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Before we embark on the tour of the house, may I point out one or two small rules we do have to ask you to observe. Please, don't pick the flowers in the vases. Don't touch the Duke when you meet him. And please, don't sit in any of the waste paper baskets. I'm sorry to insist about the waste paper basket, madam. Would you mind getting out of that one? Thank you. Would you both mind? Thank you. Well, that is all in the way of preliminaries, so we'll start with the great or main hall, which is where we are now standing. This was built in 1324 by the first Duke, who was actually buried beneath this floor, alive. Now, by tradition, one of these is sent every year to the Queen, and by tradition, she sends it back. There's always a note attached when it returns from the palace which says, Her Majesty once again requests that you be kind enough to discontinue the observance of this tradition, which I think makes it all very quaint and British. And so we come to the staircase, the great or main staircase, which, to save you the trouble of counting them, has 3 steps. It originally had 45 steps, but in 1527 it collapsed under the second Duchess. You will observe on your right the irreplaceable china collection. This shepherdess is Dresden, and this statuette of Venus is un-Dresden. This piece is early Victorian, and this one is Baroque. Fortunately, the present Duke's very clever with his little pot of glue. We come now to another staircase, the second or third staircase, which, to save you the trouble of counting them, has 4,236 steps. You will notice the 3 arches which soar elegantly through the ceiling. The ceiling was originally much higher, and in the centre arch, after his 5th mistress had poisoned his 3rd wife, the 4th Duke regretfully and rather slowly hanged himself. On the anniversary of his death, you can still see his ghost hanging in the archway, half of him just below the ceiling in this room, and half just above the floor in the room above. The 4th Duke was a vampire. At this point, I should like you to observe this spot on the ceiling. Thank you. You may come down now, Spot. In this room, the black or white room, otherwise known as the minstrel gallery, the 7th Duke entertained to dinner the composers Schubert and Beethoven. It was Schubert's 4th visit and Beethoven's 5th. And so we come to the Lancier room, and you will notice the 17th and present Duke on the mantelpiece. The Lancier room is so called because when the 17th Duke falls off the mantelpiece, he usually lands here. That concludes the tour of the house, ladies and gentlemen. On your way out, you may care to purchase souvenir packets of the remains of the 16th, 15th, 14th, and 13th Dukes, all attractively gift-wrapped and personally autographed by Godfrey Wynne. Good morning.
Here is a news flash. Sir Edward Frog, the actor, was arrested at his London home last night and charged with murder, rape, arson, suicide, perjury, bigamy, larceny, fraud, sedition, and extortion. Asked to comment, Sir Edward said he had not been feeling very well that evening.
One of the great personalities of the London streets is the old busker. And you're sure to see one entertaining the crowds wherever you go.
Well, I can't see one.
Well, look over there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, shut up, you stupid old crumb.
And all you teenagers.
Oh, for goodness sake.
But please try to control yourself.
Stupid old...
When I start to sing, you may well find yourselves wanting to scream.
You can say that again.
But I want you to listen to my story in song.
Oh, shut up, you stupid...
No, what's all this? Is this dirty little old man annoying you?
Yeah, go on, belt him.
Now, come along, you silly old man. Now, you come along with me.
Yeah, go on.
Oh,
But, sir, you saved me from being trampled by a herd of crazed beat-infected teenagers. It happens all the time since I became a beat group.
Beat group?
Yes, that's right.
Heavens, I could have sworn you were just a dirty old busker.
That's very funny, that, because you're not the first to have made that mistake. Do you think there could be someone going round who looks like me and you thought I was him?
You are a funny little man. If you're a beat group, have you got a golden disc?
No, but I've got a wooden leg.
Yeah, so I see. But I mean, do you have a record?
Well, I've done 3 months for shoplifting.
Oh, no, you stupid old ragamuffin. Have you got a sound?
Of course I have, you daft brush. You wouldn't hear me otherwise, would you?
No, you can't be a beat group. I don't think you know any songs, do you?
Well, I've got a very bad memory. It's not all glamour being a teenage idol, you know. It can get very hard.
Oh, don't cry. Don't cry. Now, look, you sing me a nice, sad blues, and I'll give you this piece of chewing gum when I've finished with it.
Well, thank you. You don't mind if I mime it, do you? I came down from Liverpool, my heart was full of song, and now I run a beat group, but I think something's wrong. Well, I don't know for certain how big a group should be, but I have a vague suspicion there should be more than me. You see, I ain't got rhythm, that's why I've got the blues. Oh dear, I just trip over when I put on my dancing shoes. My granny plays the organ, my father plays trombone, my brother is a Beatle, and my ma's a Rolling Stone. I'd like to join the family, but I don't get too far, 'cause when they play the blue beat, I do the cha-cha-cha. Oh, well, I ain't got rhythm, cha-cha-cha, such a shame, you see, I'm just not with them, cha-cha-cha. It's all the same to me, I ain't got rhythm, cha-cha-cha. Everybody's got the blues. 1, 2, 3. Everybody go now, cha-cha-cha. Yippee, let's have a teenage riot. I let my hair grow down to my toes. I even bought me some dirty worn-out clothes. I didn't wash for days just to get that earthy smell. The man said, boy, you still don't swing and now you stink as well. Oh, I ain't got rhythm. That's why I've got the blues. I'm very upset. I just trip over, whoops, when I put on my dancing shoes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, when I put on my dancing shoes. You put your left leg in, you put your left, when I put on my Oh, I'm going back to old-time music hall.
In the world of female fashion, the passing of the topless dress has left its mark. But it is, of course, an idea which is as old as the hills.
Julian Ugg?
That's right, of Ugg Creations, exclusive designs as worn by the cream of ancient British society. What can I do for modern?
Well, it's the gala dance. The trouble is I don't have a thing to wear.
I do see the problem. That creation in saber-toothed tiger, isn't it? It has seen better days,
I
hasn't
know.
it?
But my hubby's so stingy. You know men.
I should say.
Well, he expects me to last out till the mammoth sale next January.
Oh, most unwise. Cuts-price skins are often insufficiently cured. One must be so careful about animal odours. Indeed, many a divorce starts with an unhealthy skin.
Well, I always say, what can't be cured must be endured.
Yes, and I always say it's nice to know you're nice to know. Yeah. A reeking pelt may suit some, but when haute couture is so haute that even your best friends can't get close enough to tell you, it's high time to make a change, and I have the solution here, it so happens.
That? Well, it looks like a tin of paint.
Oh, it may look like a tin of paint, madam. Actually, it's the new exciting dressless dress, inspired by the popular song, I Ain't Got No Bodies. This, madam, is a woad.
Woad? What do you do with it?
Do, madam. You cover yourself in it, roll in it, revel, glory in it, take off your clothes and live in it.
You mean you You don't wear anything under it?
Good heavens, no, madam. Just one coat gives a perfect finish, a material with more than a mere two-way stretch. Oh, yes. A material which moulds to the body contours. Now all can be revealed. Woad can tell a woman from a hearthrug.
Woad? It sounds rather wooed.
You would say that, madam, yes.
But to go around almost naked, what will my hubby say?
He'll be speechless, I wouldn't wonder. Think, he'll be seeing the real you for the first time.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the colour, is that the real me?
Blue, just natural flesh colour, madam. You'll be blue with cold, anyway.
I tell you what, I will if you will.
Let's. I'll just whip up the pressure in the spray applicator. I think 2 distinctive styles to match individual measurements. A high neckline to flatter madam, and a low cleavage for me.
You mean?
Yes, you take the high word and I'll take the low word. Let us spray.
Hello, Dolly. This is Louis. Dolly, I'm so glad to have you back where I belong.
What you need is a throat pastil.
Can I help you, sir? Were you looking for something special?
Oh, just having a look, you know.
Yes. Well, we do have some very interesting specimens here, sir. Very artistic.
Oh, yes, very.
I can see that you're a gentleman that appreciates a bit of art.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
What about this one here, sir? Bit of all right, eh?
My word, yes. It's not for me, you understand.
Oh,
I'm
no.
buying them for a friend.
Yes, of course.
Close friend.
Yes. Well, have a butcher's at this one here, sir. Very special, this is.
Good heavens, that's most unusual.
Yes, well, we do like to cater for all tastes.
So I see, yes.
Anything here interest you, sir?
Yes, I'll have 3 tomato and cheese, 2 ham and 4 cheese and
Do you mind if I sit here? Oh, that's nice and comfy. It isn't often you get a seat as good as this, you know. Marvellous view.
Get off my knee.
Oh, I was only trying to be friendly.
Yes, well, I can't see the cricket with you on my knee, can I?
Oh, well, I'll sit here then. It's not as good. Here. Here!
Yes?
Here!
Well, what is it?
Hey, he can't do that. Where's he going? He can't just walk away. That's ridiculous. He just give it up. Go back! Go back and bat like a man, you rotten coward! Boo! Boo!
He's out.
What an extraordinary coincidence. There was a fella out here only last month. I didn't see it, mind you. I read it in the papers. They say he was caught. I bet he was bold.
You fascinate me.
I beg your pardon. I'm not sitting here to hear that sort of thing.
Look, there's a new batsman. Let's watch the game, shall we?
Oh, I had come more with the intention of having a little chat.
Well, I didn't.
All right, fair enough. Come on, get on with it.
Oh, shut up.
Get on with it.
Shut.
Get on.
Shut up.
Get up. Get on.
I shall kick you.
Oh. Of course, this didn't always used to be a cricket ground, you know.
Oh, Bradman wet.
Oh, no. You know, I remember the time there used to be a ruddy great mangrove swamp down there.
Oh, what?
A mangrove swamp, full of snakes and monkeys and parrots and alligators and hundreds of little black pygmies running round stark naked with poison darts. In a mangrove swamp, great mangrove swamp. No, wait a minute, I'll tell a lie. It was a farm. Yeah, a farm with a big oak tree and a cornfield.
Look, if you don't be quiet, I shall bite your ear off.
What's that?
Oh, never mind.
Hey, and over there, by the umpire, there used to be a great brown cow. That used to make it very hard for the batsman to see the bowler running up. Still, it made the game more interesting, though, you understand?
Please be quiet.
These youngsters wouldn't know what to do if a ruddy great brown cow came marching down the pitch.
I haven't heard a word you said.
You just watch the cricket and shut up. I've come for a chat and I'm going to have it. Here. Then once a week, a farmer used to get his dogs out and he'd get them to drive all the sheep out of the pens and straight across the pitch.
Oh, no.
Yes. And then the batsman used to drop his bat and he'd pull out the stump and then he'd wait till the sheep was no more than 2 or 3 feet away and he'd stare it straight in the eye. That's a fully grown sheep, mind you. And with one deadly lunge of the stump, whoomph! Then he'd chop off its ears, march twice round the ground and get on with the next over. You know, that's what I call brighter cricket. Well, I've had a nice little chat. Now, I'll let you watch the game, shall I, eh? Eh? Where's he gone? Well, that's it, you see. People just don't have the patience to sit and appreciate all the subtleties nowadays.
Now we are pleased and proud to present for the first time on radio the Tillingbourne Valley Folk and Madrigal Society Trio. Dear Sir, I only ever listen to good old steam radio because I can't afford a television. I think it's deplorable that because of this I'm denied the pleasure of the visual arts. I feel I'm being rigorously victimized. Radio must have more visual appeal. Otherwise I shan't watch it. So there. P.S. There must be thousands like me.
I very much doubt it. However, as the first in our series of visual arts presentations, we present the Royal Ballet in Swan Lake with the help of a special team of BBC sports commentators.
Welcome to Covent Garden. It's absolutely dry and bright in here, though it is beginning to get rather murky now as they turn the lights down. But the boards are firm and it's a grand night for dancing. I can see the corner ballet prancing their way over to the wings, so for a closer look, over to Peter O'Sullivan.
And here in the wings there seems to be some confusion. I can see someone adjusting his girth, and the little girl in pink doesn't seem to know which way to go. Anyhow, they're leaving her behind, and they're getting into order, and they're coming into line, and they're off. And as they scamper towards stage left, the favoured new arrival is right at the back. He's wearing a sheepskin liberty bodice and he has one leg bandage. And as they go away from me now, take up the story, Raymond Glendinning.
Well, Nara's lying very deep at the moment, wanting out of position, but here it comes. Beats 1 man, 2, 3, a beautiful slice of there, all through. Anyone left, he's round there. He must score, shoot, you fool! Shoot!
Thank you, Raymond. And Nurayev is now spinning quite superbly round and round the stage. I've lost sight of him at proscenium corner, but here he comes again. Just listen to this as he goes by. But he seems to be drawing into the wings, probably refueling. Over to you, Captain Boyd Rochford.
And that's a clear round for Uriah. For now, here's Margot up and over the second. Formerly known as Maggie Flopdown. By Jove, out of all proportion. In lovely condition with a fine coat on her, but she's taken that off now. And just look at the power in those legs as she comes to the edge of the lake to take the water jump. And she's up. And in. I'm afraid she'll get 4 faults for that, but let's take this opportunity to bring in Max Roberts.
And with a fine, powerful backstroke, she's coming into the edge of the lake, and at this exciting moment, over to Judith Chalmers.
Well, Margot was wearing a gorgeous dress in yellow, too, but that's ruined now.
Never mind, this is Harry Carpenter at the stage side, up and over in the blue corner, and Uriah coming out of the mauve corner. And they're just dancing round each other. They sway in together and they've got their arms all tangled up. They break. Uriah waiting for his moment. Oh, and he's got her by the leg. He's pulling her around. He's controlling her arms above her head. She's offering no resistance at all, and the crowd's going mad. Now he's grabbed her around the waist, and he's prancing round the stage with her. He's dropped her, but she's up again, and she's gone back to the corner. That was incredible. What do you think, Norris Mackworth?
It looks to me as if she's going to have another try at that jump. She's gone back into the wings, but here she comes. She hits the boards and off. Oh, what a leap! Oh, I'm losing sight of her. Come in, Raymond.
Yes, she's just gone over my head and out over the orchestra, and as she sails towards the first balcony, come in, Harry.
She's floating way up by the chandelier now. Over to you, Judith.
I can just see her now making a double circle of the auditorium. Oh dear, she seems to have stalled.
Yeah, she's coming down.
Past the upper circle.
Past me in the first balcony.
And she's landed in the royal box. And the crowds go wild. What did you think of that, Harry?
Well, I haven't seen such grace and movement since Joe Louis knocked out Jersey Joe Walcott with a right hook to the kidneys at Boston in 37.
Well, final summary, John Arlott.
Well, I honestly never realized that ballet could be quite so exciting.
a short excerpt from the signature tune of I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again. The musical score was by Dave Lee, and he made it 16-0. Those featured in this concerto for wind were Tim Brooke-Taylor on the fiddle, Graham Garden, cello, Who's Your Lady Friend, David Hatch, cheese and piccolo, Joe Kendall, It's Quicker by tuba, and Bill Oddie, euphonium.
I say, what do you do when you want to speak to your friends?
I don't know. Tell me what you do when you want to speak to your friends.
I'll tell you what you do, euphonium, and if they're in, they'll answer.
The songs were written and sung by Bill Oddie and Graham Garden, and the scripts were written by Humphrey Barclay, Les Lilly and Chick Jacob, David Lund, John Mortimer and Brian Cook, Bill Oddie, Peter Vincent and David McKellar, and Hugh Woodhouse. I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again is produced by Humphrey Barclay.
A ridiculous name. Humphrey
And now the next program follows almost immediately in about 10 minutes' time. So before the next program, which follows almost at once, we're going to... So until then, we'll play you some music. We'll play you some music on gramophone records. Well, we seem to be having a little trouble with the gramophone, so until that's put right, I'll tell you something about the next program, which follows in a few minutes. Now, the next program is... The next program follows almost at once. And it's a very good program indeed. Very good. Well, until it begins, I hope you will enjoy listening to a short selection of music from the student prince.
We apologize for the loss of your program, which is due to a technical fault. There's nothing wrong with our transmitter, so it must be your set. And once again, the Angus Prune tune heralds the arrival in your living room of Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie. And here is your special announcer, John Otto Cleese.
I'm sorry, I'll read that again.
Come in, Miss Chaffgrind. Consult the diary. What are my engagements next week?
Monday morning, cocktails, followed by lunch at Sparage's. Yeah. Tuesday's your wife's birthday. Table booked for lunch, followed by Ascot in the afternoon. Expenses put down as Pakistan trade delegation. Nothing else, sir.
Excellent. Anything in the post?
Oh, mainly routine, sir. Yeah? Mr. Ivor Boot of Messrs. Rhubarb and Boot Limited would like to take you out to lunch on Tuesday week.
Consult the diary, Miss Chaffgrind.
Oh, that appears to be in order, sir.
Splendid. Anything else?
Well, sir, there's a Mr. Fitzpatrick waiting outside. I tried to put him off, but he says he won't leave until he's seen you.
Oh, dear. Well, you better show him in, then.
What were you doing, sir, on Friday the 17th of July?
Consult the diary, Miss Chaffgrind.
Business conference at Brighton. Double room, book for you in the name of Mr. and Mrs. Prune.
Mrs. Prune, sir, happens to be my wife, and I don't think very much of it.
Consult the diary, Miss Chaffgrind.
You didn't think very much of it either, sir. Zookeeper to see you, sir.
Thank you. Send him in, please.
This way, please.
Come in, Butterling. Sit down.
There aren't any chairs, sir.
You're a troublemaker, Butterling. Now, since you joined this zoo just 3 weeks ago, Butterling, you have shown yourself to be an inefficient, lazy, vicious, foul-mouthed, lying, simple-minded little git. To be perfectly blunt, Butterling, I'm not entirely satisfied with the way in which you're carrying out your duty. So I've asked you in here for a nice, friendly little chat with me, man to God, to discuss some of the little difficulties we've been having and to fire you. Now, when you joined this zoo just 3 weeks ago, Butterling, this was the second largest zoo in the whole of Europe. We had over 6,000 animals. All we have left is a rhinoceros, 2 hyenas, and a ferret with a wooden leg. Where are the others?
I don't know, sir.
They're in the main street, Butterling, the main street. All except for the water buffalo.
Where's the water buffalo, sir?
In my bathroom. My wife found it there early this morning. She's a nervous woman, Butterling. The police caught her just 40 minutes ago. She was over 100 miles away, still running. She doesn't remember anything, and she thinks she's a potato. But the town, Butterling, I mean, it looks like a national game reserve. I mean, Butterling, how does anyone lose giraffes?
People take them, sir. I don't think they mean to steal them. They just borrow them and forget to give them back.
You're lying, Butterling.
No,
You're lying.
no, sir.
I know all about your little agreement with the sausage factory. And the aviary, my little pride and joy, the aviary, Butterling. What have you done to it?
I put all the birds in one cage, sir.
Well?
The vulture's looking very well, sir.
I'm dismissing you as from today, Butterling. One of the baboons can take over for the time being. Now, for the rest of the day, 1, why aren't the hyenas howling?
They've got laryngitis, sir.
Well, get a record and show them how to mime. 2, get the ferret out of the elephant's cage. Doesn't fool anyone. 3, can you impersonate animals, Butterling?
Yes, I can, sir.
Well?
Cluck, cluck, sir.
What was that, Butterling?
That was a hen, sir. Bow wow, sir.
No, don't tell me, Butterling. Let me guess that one. That was a dog.
Thank you very much, sir.
Butterling! This is a zoo, not a farm! Get out! It's 5 to 1. Go and feed the animals. The animal. Oh, and Butterling, if there's a potato waiting outside, tell her I love her.
As you know, just recently we've heard a great many religious pop songs. And very good they are, too, if you like that sort of thing. However, we now bring you a completely new musical form. A secular religious pop song.
I believe that when I'm feeling sick of stress and strife, just as I'm speeding down the foggy motorway of life, there's someone who is sure to see, someone always watching me, and I know, yes, I know who that someone will be. There is a policeman never very far away. He will take my name if ever I should go astray. So thank you, the boys in blue, for testing and arresting, for slowing and showing I'm right in believing in you. I believe that in the beginning there was a great silence, and then there came the tinkling cymbal, and the sounding brass, and the 7 trumpets blew 7 times, and they created that Bacharach sound. I believe in the great prophet, Bob Dylan, and in the singing nun, and Thelonious Monk. And I also believe that whatever you do in life, there's always someone above you, someone bigger or tougher or richer. I believe there's a reason for everything. Oh yes, I believe that in the storm has turned the clouds to grey. And when the rain is falling and it seems it's here to stay, the sun will still come shining through. There'll be a silver lining too. And I know, yes, I know that it's because there is an anti-cyclone over the Azores. There's a deep depression moving the sea. So thank you, weathermen, for caring and sharing, for knowing and showing these wonderful secrets to me.
Many airlines now offer their passengers a film show, or at least a selection of recorded music during their flights.
Yeah, it's only right.
Yes, well, of course. But naturally, the smaller airlines can't afford such luxuries, and they have to provide a more personal service for the entertainment of their passengers.
Hello. It's time for taking off. So what would you like me to start with? Now, if you look in the pocket in front of you, you'll find a comb and a dirty handkerchief. But if you look in the pocket of the seat in front of you, you'll find a copy of Fanny Hill. Please read it carefully, then you'll know what to do. Oh, and if you're looking for safety regulations, you won't find them. It's not that sort of plane. All right, just relax and enjoy yourselves, and try not to giggle too loudly when I unfasten your safety belts. Now, here's your captain. Darling, you're on. Darling, you're on.
Hello. This is your captain. How do you do? How are you? Is everybody happy? Now, if this is your first flight, don't worry. I know just how you feel. Ha ha ha! But seriously, I do apologize that we're not able to provide a film show during your flight, but instead, my navigator will be singing selections from Gilbert and Sullivan. 8 to 10 later. And instead of the usual life jacket demonstration, the stewardess will do a few conjuring tricks, and I myself will give a display of aerobatics. What a happy plane it will be. Happy. There will also be a prize for anyone who can walk to the end of the wing and back without knocking off any of the bottles. Oh yes, and when Stewardess Bentley comes out with the tea, keep an eye on her. She's a wonderful juggler and quite a little pickpocket. Now, those of you on the port side will be able to watch me doing a few tricks on my unicycle. So bye-bye, and let's give a nice big hand for a lovely little lady doing her first show tonight, Stewardess Salulu!
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look out of the window directly below us, you can now see the pilot. Seriously, though, I'm afraid it's true. You may have thought this flight was going to Edinburgh, but I'm afraid it's raining near Rio, so we are in fact putting you down in Bangkok by parachute. But there's only one, so you'll have to take it in turns. Bag's eye first. So before I go, I'm going to sing a little song entitled She Was Only a Pilot's Daughter, but She Never Got Off the Ground.
Excuse me, do you have any books about the Golden Horde?
I'm sorry, sir, this library does not stock books about that kind of woman.
No, Horde. You know Genghis Khan and his associates.
Oh, I see. Well, yes, I'm sure we do. Are you particularly interested in the scourge of Asia?
Tropical diseases hold no fascination for me, thank you, all the same. It's Genghis Khan I'm after.
Very well, sir.
I'm going to shock you now.
How?
By telling you that I have reason to believe that I, Christopher Plumrose, am in fact a reincarnation of the aforesaid Genghis Khan. What have you got to say to that?
I'm shocked.
Told you so.
But, sir, I mean, what makes you believe that your claim is valid?
Well, now, I first realized the truth of the validity that I am the great Khan when I had a mystic experience in this cafe. I was staring moodily into my milk and dash when I saw this face looking up at me.
Well, reflection is possible, Mr. Plumrose, even in milk and dash.
A reflection of a Mongol warrior, complete with fur hat and Charlie Chan moustache.
Good Lord.
That's just what he said to me. Good Lord, he said, I have appeared to you in this milk and dash to rejoice that once again your mighty bones are cloaked in living flesh. We, your loyal servants, send you greetings from the great world of cosmic cosmos. Then he vanished in a cloud of bubbles.
Oh, why?
I forgot myself and stirred the glass.
Mr. Plumrose, are you sure it wasn't a glass of something else you were looking into?
Take that back! you dog, or your back will feel the weight of my sword, which has been reincarnated as an umbrella. The Khan has spoken. Authentic, eh?
Very good,
Not
yes,
too bad,
yes.
no, I was
Is that experience the sum total of your claim, Mr. Plumrose?
Do me a favour. My second psychiatric experience was on holiday this year at Blackpool. Abandoning myself to the holiday spirit, I invested in a ride on a donkey. But once astride my mount, it happened. I felt myself transformed from a rather tubby figure in khaki shorts and a fair I'll pull over into a savage, fur-clad horseman of the steppes.
You mean you actually changed clothes?
No, my reincarnation is mental.
Yes.
Anyway, the next thing I knew, I was galloping wildly across the beach, shouting strange Mongol war cries and cutting down sundry holidaymakers with my sticker rock. Then I wheeled my mount into the first aid tent and, snatching up the rather portly nurse therein, I threw her across my pommel and galloped off towards the encampment, i.e. the Clock Golf Course.
Mr. Plumrose, if you are a reincarnation of Genghis Khan, I mean, why do you want to read a book about yourself?
Well, I want to find out what I'm likely to do next and whether I can afford it on £8.10 a week. Can I live like a Khan or can't I?
Well, I mean, Genghis Khan, I mean, he got his wealth by means of pillage, murder, rape, arson.
I don't think the wife would go for any of those. What's the time?
Well, 4 o'clock. Why? What are you going to do?
Meet my little grandson Kubla Khan from school and get him home by 4:30, or the wife will beat the living daylights out of me.
You think you're Genghis Khan and you're frightened of your wife?
Oh, yes, she's Queen Victoria. Good morning.
And now we present Bill Oddie, B.A., with the Dave Lee Symphony Orchestra and Just One of Those Things.
It was just one of those things. No, not those things.
Oh, so sorry. One of these things.
Oh, no.
Oh, these things?
No.
Oh, one of these things.
Yes! It was just one of those things. That's right. It was just one of those crazy things. One of those bells that now and then ring. Just one of those things. It was just one of those nights. It was just one of those fabulous flights. A trip to the moon on gossamer wings. Just one of those things. If we thought a bit of the end of it when we started painting the town,
Paint.
we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen.
Hallelujah!
Here's hoping we meet now and then.
Hello, goodbye.
It was great fun, but it was just one of those things. It was just one of those things. Just one of those crazy things. I took a hammer and nails and various bits of various people, and I made myself one of those things. But he came and ruined it all. He was one of those knights.
Oh, boy, I'm one of those fabulous knights, and I've come to slay your thing.
No, don't touch it. It's not doing anyone any harm. Look at it. It's just one of those things. But he was determined. He said, this thing is bigger than both of us. And so he went and drove a stake right through my thing. I give him credit. It's not easy to drive a stake, especially on English roads. Well, you know what they say. All good things must come to an end. So goodbye, dear, and amen.
Shouldn't that be amen?
Yes, hoping we meet now and then. Maybe you'll come and haunt me. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things. No, not those things.
I'm so sorry. One of these things.
No!
These things?
No!
Oh, these.
Yes! It was just one of those
Radio is rather like a magic carpet.
You can't beat it.
I have chosen to ignore that remark.
So have the audience.
Yes. Well, as I was saying, let us jump onto the magic carpet of radio and fly back through time to old Baghdad and sit at the feet of the ancient storyteller in the marketplace as he recounts to an enraptured audience tales of long ago.
And so the noble prince on the beautiful white horse left the marble halls of the ever-virtuous one and rode off to seek the promise of goodness and truth in the golden sands of the desert.
That is the most boring story I have ever heard.
Tell us another one.
Let's have a bit of smut, shall we?
Then listen and be attentive. Many moons ago there lived in Baghdad a mighty caliph, and he had a beautiful daughter whose name was Sally. She was more beautiful than the sun, whose name was Mahmud. Now Sally was loved by one Ali Baba. Actually, she was loved by two Ali Babas, but the one I'm talking about lived in the desert alone with 40 men, rather like Outward Bound. From far and wide, men rode to the cave of Ali to offer him their services.
Oh, Ali, son of the merchant of Baghdad, I have heard men sing your praises, and I wish to join your band.
Are you a member of the Musicians' Union?
Yes.
What can you play?
Skittles.
Ah, good. Then you can join my skittle group.
I didn't know you were a bowling alley.
Oh, that's a very bad gag.
Speaking of Baghdad, I have come to ask you to help us to get rid of the wicked caliph. For is it not written that the moon shall engulf the rocky home of the white rat?
Ha! But is it not also written that no man seeketh that which he hath found for longer than he first looks until he finds that which he never sought, lest he should lose that which he seeks ere he finds that for which he looks not and never finds?
Aye, so it is written. And very badly written. Ali, let me ride with you.
All right, if you pay my fare.
No, it's against my principles to pay Ali money. Anyway, it is written that one day you shall rule Baghdad. The caliph's daughter could be yours.
Impossible. I've only known his wife 4 months.
Then let me help you to depose the caliph, and Baghdad will be at your command.
I like it. I like your plan. What is your name?
I am Omar Khayyam.
Not the Omar Khayyam.
No, that was my cousin Angus Prune.
Why is he called... Why for is he called Angus Prune?
Well, we couldn't both be called Omar Khayyam, could we?
Enough of this hilarity. Hilarity. I will capture Baghdad and carry off the princess, and you, Omar, shall ride on my right hand.
No, thank you. I'd prefer a horse.
Anyway, this is the cave wherein live my 38 thieves.
I thought you had 40 thieves.
Yes, but 2 of them were stolen.
Well, all I see is a pretty ordinary rock face.
It's not just a pretty rock face. Watch this. Watch this. Open sesame. And here come my 38 thieves. Men!
Yes, Stocky?
This is Omar Khayyam. From now on, he's one of us.
Doesn't look the type to me.
Tomorrow we are going to Baghdad.
Let's beg Mum while we're at it.
Will you behave yourself? Come on, men, to Baghdad. Cowards!
And so that night, alone, Ali and Omar Khayyam crept into Baghdad disguised as 2 sheikhs, a brace of sheikhs. They were no great sheikhs, but they passed.
Ali, where are we?
I think we're in the perfumed garden.
No, that's my aftershave lotion.
Quiet. I thought I heard something.
Look, a carrier pigeon with a message tied to its leg.
What does it say?
It says, "This is the leg of a carrier pigeon."
Wait a minute, there's something written on the back.
So it is, yes. Yes, it says, This is the back of a carrier pigeon.
No, on the back of the paper, what does it say?
I don't know. I don't understand pigeon English.
Oh. Let me see. It's from the Princess Sally. It says, "This is from the Princess Sally."
Is that all?
Wait, there's a P.S.
What does it say?
Psst.
Ali, look over there, a luscious eastern beauty, clad only in a diaphanous veil. What is she up to?
Omar, she's making eyes at me. You had better ride back and fetch the 38 thieves. I smell trouble.
No, it's just my aftershave.
Step back to the cave.
All right. And while I'm there, I'll have a nice slice of rhubarb tart.
Rhubarb tart?
Don't tell me you've never heard of the rhubarb tart of Omar Khayyam.
Now to find the princess. Ah, perhaps that luscious eastern beauty, clad only in a diaphanous veil, will be able to help me. Excuse me, could you tell me where I can find the Princess Sally?
Yes, of course. She's in the palace.
But she...
Be warned, Ali. This is a trap set by the Caliph.
But how do you know?
Because I am the Caliph. This diaphanous veil is merely a disguise.
Of course, I should have seen through it at once.
Guard!
Yes, master.
Take this miserable wretch and clap him in jail. So much for Ali Baba, black sheep of the family. I wonder if he's any relation of the Babas of Seville.
Father, what will you do with him?
Well, my dear Sally, in the morning I will throw Ali Baba to my alligator. Then I shall have an Ali Baba gator.
Father, how can you be so cruel?
Practice, my dear, practice.
That night in the dungeon, Ali was visited by the princess. She stayed with him for a good 2 hours. In fact, it was the best 2 hours she'd ever had. But before she left, she told him of a plan for his escape.
Ali, listen carefully. There's great unrest in Baghdad. Tomorrow at dawn, the peasants will rise up.
Why so?
Well, they're pretty early risers in these parts.
If I am to escape, we must get through to Omar and the 38 thieves.
Leave it to me. I get through to almost everybody.
Have you a pencil?
Why?
I want you to take something down.
Oh, Ali, behave yourself.
Oh, Sally. Sally.
Pride of our alley.
Anyway, write a message. Write a message on this piece of my turban. Omar, having a terrible time. Khayyam as quickly as you can.
I only hope it reaches him in time.
Off you go and good luck.
Next morning, by the alligator pool in the palace.
Make way for His Highness, the Caliph of Baghdad, Keeper of the Peace, Peacock of the Orient, Moon of Baghdad, Defender of the Poor, MBE.
My people, before I throw the wretched Ali Baba to my alligator, my daughter, the Princess Sally, will perform the dance of the 7 veils. 2 pullovers and a pair of mittens. Let the music commence!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, that's enough.
Rubbish.
It is I, Ali Baba, come to carry off the beautiful princess.
Ali Baba, but how did you escape?
Simple. Omar Khayyam sent me a hacksaw concealed in a rhubarb tart.
Ah, and you sawed through the prison bars with it.
You can't saw through prison bars with a rhubarb tart.
But where are your 38 thieves?
They surround your palace. There is no escape.
All right, but you'll never catch me alive. Farewell!
Great heavens! The Caliph has jumped into the alligator pit. He's being chased round and round by the alligator. He's eaten him.
By Jove, what a tasty alligator.
Ali Baba, you must rule over Baghdad now.
Oh, no. Really, I couldn't, honestly.
All right, we'll get somebody else.
But no story would be complete without a wedding and a happy ending. So, this story must remain incomplete.
And with the Angus Prune tune, we wind up another edition of I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again. Thank you. The voices you heard were those of Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie. The scripts were by John Esmond and Bob Larby, Graham Garden, David Lund and Bill Oddie. The songs by Bill Oddie, and the music was provided by Dave Lee. The show was produced by Humphrey Barclay, and Humphrey Barclay was produced out of a hat. If you tune in again at the same time next week, you can hear John Otto Cleese say...
It's I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Again.
Again!
Hello there, Ned.
Hello, Jack. Quiet at the boat night, isn't it?
Oh, here comes Walter.
Ah, hello, Walter.
Yes, oh dear, Ned, me old pal, me old beauty. Yeah, have you all done yours?
What's that?
Say, well, Dan and Doris have sold Brookfield Farm and gone away to London.
And young Phil's gone with them.
And what's more, Harry Grenville and Carol have gone to live in Bournemouth. And Jack Woolley's married Polly Mead and gone to Edinburgh. And Tom Forrest, John Tregoran and Dowie Hood have all gone to start a hotel in Bognor.
And Aunt Laura's run away with young Roger Patillo.
Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
Well, there's only us left then, ain't there?
Yes.
What are we gonna do then?
Oh, you wonder what's on the radio? I wonder.
I wonder.
Once again, the Angus Prune tune brings to the microphone Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie, which can only mean one thing. And here is your special announcer, John Otto Cleese, to tell you the worst.
It's I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Again.
Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
Well, Mr. Portslade, I can't find anything organically wrong with you. You are overweight, certainly, but please don't waste the time of your poor overworked and underpaid GP.
But, Doctor, I've got these terrible pains here.
Good heavens. You must have been taking those hormone pills. This is fantastic, but there's no other possible explanation. You must be pregnant.
Doctor, this is terrible. What will the neighbours think?
Mr. Portslade, you've created medical history. This has never happened to a man before. You'll be a celebrity. The neighbours will be proud of you.
Doctor, you don't understand. I'm not married.
Sports time. And today, sports fans, we have another session of Radio Strip Club. Or lift up your skirts. Which today comes from the Steaming Pussycats somewhere in Soho. And to help cover, or rather uncover the event, we have our team of BBC commentators, Peter Vest, Norman Hardley, and John Harlott. So over to them to hear what's going on. Or rather, what's coming off.
Good evening, listeners, and welcome to the Steaming Pussycat at the start of the second night. Not a big crowd, eh, Peter?
No, about 3, I should say.
Yes, but each and every one of them bored stiff.
Yes. Not great conditions either. The light's not at all good, though I don't think it'll stop playing. And the atmosphere is very heavy. But this should mean a bit of movement.
Oh, yes, it should be really swinging.
Oh, yes.
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 Well, we're waiting for them to come out.
And here they come.
No, just sweeping the stage.
No, wait a minute, this time. Yes, at last I think we'll be seeing them take off the covers.
Goody gumdrops.
Yes, indeed. And first from the powder room end, we'll be having, who is it?
Zaza Clegg.
Yes, that's right. Known here as Clegg the Leg, I believe.
Is that so?
Yes. And here she comes. And she takes off her sweater and hands it to the doorkeeper. Any common Norman.
Anyway, we can tell you she's got one fine leg and one terrible one. Peter?
Yes, very nasty. Oh, and I think she's going for a singlet here.
Yes, she got that one away safely. What were her figures last time you saw her, Morris?
Not so good. 48, 32, 17.
Not so good. Positively deformed. And she comes forward and drops that one just short of us down here.
Yes, she is terribly slow.
Awfully slow.
Fantastically slow.
Oh, my goodness, that was quick. I really didn't see what happened to that one. Did you, Peter?
No, I'm sorry, I wasn't looking.
What's happened? What's happened?
Well, I think she's lost her left.
No, wait a moment.
Yes, it was her left.
No.
Oh, yes, it was.
Jolly good. Splendid. Well done. Good heavens, that's 3 down and 4 to go.
Oh, well, she's warming up a bit now.
Yes, I think we should be seeing her googly any time now.
Yes. And she's taking away a slip. Yes, there it goes.
What a lovely leg glance from the man in the front row. Wait a minute, I think she's reaching for her, how would you describe that, Peter?
Well, it's her, Norman?
It's her knitting.
Yes, quite. No, wait a minute. Yes, I think it's falling.
No, it's not.
It is.
Yes, it's coming down.
Surely she's got it covered.
No, I don't think so. What do you think, Norman? No, she can't.
She can.
She must.
She's got to hold on to it.
She won't.
She will.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
She's dropped it. She's dropped it. Oh, well, there we are then. Not really as sexy as W.G. Grace, is she? From Radio Strip Club, good night.
And now it's cabaret time. Bill Oddie, B.A., Dave Lee and the Session Men take you on a musical journey.
Pack up your suitcase. Don't do that. Pack up your suitcase. Lovely. Pay your fare. Won't you come along?
Come along.
We're gonna take a journey around the world on the wings of song. Oh, we'll hear sounds all around, in the air and on the ground, from the east to the west and back again. So let's make a start on our musical journey with a song from sunny Spain. No. Spain! With a song from sunny Spain. It's Spain! With a song from sunny Spain. No, skip it. I wanna sing, wanna swing. Every melody I bring is for you. Yes, it's true, don't you know? And I bring a little magic back in my heart, no matter where I go. Oh, what the heck's that? Where's the bagpipes? Oh, all right, it'll do. And I'll sing a song to Glasgow. Glasgow, play the coin. Oh, I belong to Glasgow. 'Tis all my joy and pride. Try another. No. And then we'll go to Hong Kong, London, Eastern Delight. And I'd love to go to Mexico. Simba! But you'd never get it right. We'll have a thrill in Brazil where the nights are cold and chill. I'll see the hula girls of Innisfree and child away from Iceland to Australia, helping a worldwide melody. So we tour about to Germany, our feet into France, and tell bye to those who have the dream. And join me again on a musical journey when we try again next week.
Who knocked at our back door at this time of night? Better come up through the back garden.
Maybe it's Bill and Ben, the flower pot men. Well, answer it then.
Oh, very well, dear. But I don't understand it.
Well, who is it?
It's a little fairy.
Harold, if you've been at that cooking sherry again, good heavens.
Good evening.
You see, dear, it really is a little fairy. It really is.
Rubbish. It's just that silly get-up. Look, if you've come about the soap powder, I've got 3...
Lady, please. My name is Oberon the Quirk, and I'm one of... I am one of the actual fairies from the bottom of your commoner garden. I've come here this evening as the duly elected representative of the Upper Norwood branch of Amalgamated Fairies.
A fairy? In a trade union?
And why not?
Look, do sit down. You must excuse the wife. She's always been a bit septic. Now, what's on your mind?
Your compost heap.
What?
Do you know that it's slap bang in the middle of my member's fairy ring?
Is it?
It is. There we all are, prancing about, weaving our little fairy spells, singing our little fairy songs, and conducting any other business. When trip, head first in a great pile of...
Yeah, quite. Yeah. Well, look, I'm sorry, you know.
Yeah, it's not fit for leprechauns to work in, let alone decent British fairies.
Yeah, I think he's from the council.
In a pointed hat and a romper suit made out of ivy leaves, do you mind? Now, can I inform my executive that you intend to set your garden in order?
Oh, you can, yes, definitely, yes.
And what if we don't?
Then we shall have no alternative but to withdraw our labour hereby and forthwith.
Labour, indeed. What do you do, anyway?
What do we do? What do we do? Who do you think cross-pollinated your lobelia?
So it was you?
And who do you think is responsible for that 18-foot bluebell out there? Garden gnomes and allied trades, that's who.
I thought it was the new fertiliser.
Well, it was me and the lads, and if you don't watch it, we'll deflate your marrow and flit off.
No, don't do that. Not now that we've found out that we've got you. Just think, Doreen. Personal fairies.
Yes, bolshy ones.
You know, madam, if I weren't a fey little sprite, full of fun and goodness, I'd clock you round the face with me wand.
Doreen, please don't insult our little friend.
He's no little friend of mine. And anyway, I don't believe in fairies.
Don't say you don't believe in me. You'll make it happen if you do.
What'll happen?
My fairy light will go out.
Just like little Tinkerbell in Peter Pan.
Where is this fairy light, anyway?
Under my fairy hat, look.
It's an ordinary 40-watt bulb. Well, I definitely don't believe in you now.
Oh, you've done it now. You've extinguished me light.
Oh, dear. Now, look, how can we get it back on? Look, I know. You shout, "Do you believe in fairies?" to all the children in the world. And if they shout back, "Yes," you'll be all right.
It's worth a try. Anything's better than me having a blackout. Children, do you believe in fairies? Yes! It's working. I definitely felt a flicker then. Louder, please. Do you believe in fairies? Yes! It worked! It worked! Some of those kids had deep voices, but they made me like them.
Thank goodness for that. Doreen, you know what would have happened if you'd fused his little filament, don't you? His little life would have ebbed away and he'd have fallen to the ground like a little wounded butterfly.
No, Chief. Lovely prose, but you got it all wrong.
But isn't that why you're so concerned about your little light? Because it's your sign of life?
No, it's just that with my light out, how the heck am I going to get back down that dark garden of yours?
may not know that plans are now on foot...
Oh, that's my foot.
Oh, I'm sorry. To develop even further the incredible story of a certain lady and her lions. In fact, a musical version of the film version of the book version of her incredible story. And from this musical Loving Free, here is the hit song, Pride and Joy.
I long to be where we're born free, with the animal for whom I care, to hear once more its gentle roar, where I always get the lion's share. I long for a lark in a national park with a tropical moon above. Oh, take me back where the folk are black, and back to the beast I love, so I can once again run my fingers through his mane. Oh, I'm in love with a lion, and the lion's in love with me. Down in the jungle, I'm all right with a little bit of line on a Saturday night. I'm in love with a lion, and I'm in ecstasy. Oh, I'm not lying, I'm relying on a lion, and the lion is lying on me. I never felt a pang for an orangutan, or a flutter for a chimpanzee. I'm not a girl who winks at a passing lynx, for the lion is the cat for me. And I'm safe from men in an African den with the beast I've got my eye on. And it can't be a crime, 'cause in everything I'm content to toe the lion. I'm as happy as I could be with my African bush baby. Oh, I'm in love with the lion, and the lion's in love with me. We're the happiest couple you've ever seen. He's the king of the jungle and I'm his queen. I'm in love with the lion, and I'm in ecstasy. There's no denying that the heart is sighing. I'm really dying with the crying and the trying, and I'm not lying. I'm relying on the lion, and the lion is lying on me. Woo!
Throughout the pages of our island heritage, steeped in the sound of battle, tinted with the vermilion hues of victory, echoing to the clash of arms, our fighting men have gone forth on the bounding ocean main to do battle with the threat of foreign oppressors.
Get on with it.
Today, we take great pride in presenting the story of our most famous sea dog, Lord Nelson. Admiral Lord Nelson was a small man. In fact, he was rather smaller than Bill Oddie.
It wasn't really as small as that, was it?
That's not very funny.
It's not even possible.
As I was saying, he was a small man who lost an eye and his left arm in battle.
Sounds more like a half Nelson.
Shut up! Shut up! He was a man of many parts. Well, a few, anyway. He loved the sound of the sea.
As in?
Cat. But perhaps the best way to tell our story is to give you an extract from his personal diary, known to the lads as Nelson's Column.
March 29th. Will this war never end? We still have not sighted the French fleet, though Captain Hardy tells me they plan to capture the Canaries. I have put an extra padlock on their cage, just in case. March 30th. Hardy's birthday. I promised him a good line in my death scene. March 31st. A terrible storm is raging. The helmsman was washed overboard in the night. Seaman Bedworthy is now at the helm, and we have tied him to the mast. 6 bells. The mast has been washed overboard. The second mate is at the wheel, and we have nailed his boots to the deck. 8 bells. I have a new pair of boots. March 32nd. The storm is past. By my calculations, we are at the equator. Sighted our first iceberg this morning. March 33rd. Sausages for breakfast. Clean sock. March 34th. Will April never come?
Excuse me, Admiral.
Ah, Captain Hardy.
Sir, the lookout has reported a ship's sail.
Well, go and see if you can pick up something cheap.
But, sir, it could be the French.
By George, Hardy.
Manual Hardy, actually, sir.
Ah, a Hardy manual.
Yes, and you'll find I'm a manual-like.
That was a bit laboured.
Yes, I'm a manual labourer.
Hardy, this is our chance. Come, we must go up on the poop.
What's a poop?
A young sea dog. Here we are, Hardy. Now, where are the French?
Over there, sir. Look through this telescope.
I see no telescope. We must follow the French fleet and destroy them.
We can't do it single-handed, sir.
Careful, Hardy. We must sail faster. Bosun!
Aye, aye, Admiral. Aye, aye, sir. 'Tis a fine day for a battle, and the men are spoiling for a fight, sir. Aye. Give 'em a chance, give 'em a chance, give 'em a chance, sir. And they'll run Johnny French out of the sea, sir. We'll give 'em a taste of our British food, sir. Aye, and a yo-ho-ho to the lot of you.
By my life, it's Walter Gabriel. Bosun, put on every inch of sail.
Aye, aye, sir. How do I look?
On the mast, idiot.
I can't, sir.
Why not?
It's a mizzen.
Well, get another.
Aye, aye, sir. And as we do it, me and the boys will oblige ye with an old song of the sea. Are you ready, lads? Off you go.
Scupper the anchor and button the hatch.
Way, hey, Johnny!
Mizzen the plimsoll line, open the latch.
Way, hey, me hearties, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. And a sweet little gal in a bloody blue dress, home in Liverpool town. With a heave-ho and a following wind. Oh!
Do shut up!
Hardy, Hardy. Take command. Give the bosun the orders.
Aye, aye, sir. We'd like 2 large cocos and a sea dog biscuit.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Careful, bosun.
Sorry, I forgot. Aye, Captain.
What was that?
I said Lady Hamilton coming alongside.
Ah. Lady Hamilton. How did she get out here in the middle of the Atlantic?
She's wearing motor wings, sir.
Are you sure?
Oh, well, now you come to mention it.
Ahoy there! I'm coming aboard!
Well, well, Lady Hamilton, what a pleasant surprise. Will you come into my cabin for a little while?
I know you and your little wiles, but I must confess I could do with a nice seat.
Yes, I see what you mean.
Oh, Horatio, at last I've found you.
Madam, what are you saying?
I'm saying, oh, Horatio, at last I've found you. I've searched for you everywhere. I looked for you at the Admiralty, but they told me you were abroad.
That's a dirty lie. It's just the way I walk.
Oh, Horatio, hold me in your arm. Let me look into your eye.
All right, but it's not a patch on the other one.
I'm yours, Horatio.
Madam, please, this is a family show.
Then think of me as one of the family.
All right, Father. But you can't stay here. We're about to do battle with the French. This is no place for a woman.
Then let me fight with you.
Oh, no. You're bigger than I am.
I mean, let me fight beside you.
This is ridiculous. How could you fight in that ridiculous crinoline dress?
Well, I could take it off.
Right, yes, here's a cutlass.
Oh, thank you, Horatio. Thank you.
Next morning.
Admiral, The crew are turning ugly.
No, they always look like that.
No. The crew talk of taking over the ship and sailing to the West Indies.
That's funny. My wife went to the West Indies.
Jamaica?
Is that in the West Indies?
Yes.
Oh, I must mean the East Indies.
Jakarta?
No, she went by train.
Admiral Nelson, Captain Hardy. The crew are threatening to throw the officers into the sea. And then make 'em walk the plank. Then they'll keel haul the lot of ye and lock ye in the reference library. Aye, and shiver your timbers, and very probably splice your main braces as well. And I'm in mortal danger just telling ye all this, because I might very well rupture me tonsils. Aye, sir, Jim lad, where was I? Aye, sir. Aye, that's what they do say, sir. And they're gonna hang ye from the highest yard arm and hoist ye with your own petar.
I think we better go on deck, Admiral.
As Hardy and I climbed up on deck, the men gathered around us, cussing and brandishing their table tennis bats. One of them, a marmalade-coloured Syrian with cruel ears and rings through his teeth, struck Hardy viciously across the face with a piece of string.
Admiral, they're in a nasty mood. You'd better give them a short address.
What's wrong with the dress I'm wearing?
You can't get round us like that, Admiral, with all your fancy talk.
Who are you?
I'm the ship's doctor.
Oh, how is the ship?
Listless, sir. We've had enough of your rotten ship and its rotten food. Yeah. We'll cast ye adrift in an open boat like we did with that painted woman, Lady Hamilton.
She's not a painted woman?
She is now.
Men, are you behind me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's where you are.
French fleet approaching on the port bow.
At last. How many are there, Hardy?
36 ships, sir, against our one. What should we do?
Split up and surround them.
That's a very old joke.
It's a historical sketch, Hardy. Bosun, where are you?
Here, sir.
Where?
Hiding in this cannon, sir. I'm afeard, Admiral. I'm mortal afraid, sir. I'm wonderful terrified. And I'm stuck, sir.
So I see. Hardy, hand me that lighted taper. Bosun, you're fired.
I'm glad that was your line, sir.
Mr. Midshipman.
Yes, sir.
Take this famous message and hang it up on the mast and mind my washing.
Aye, aye, sir.
There it is, sir. Man his duty expects to every England do.
Yes, I'm not really happy with that yet. You better send it by semaphore.
What's a semaphore?
It's for making semolina.
Why do you want to make semolina?
Because she's far too fat.
Oh, I see.
And I'm still not happy with that message. Let battle commence. Oh, Hardy, I've been hit.
Shall I carry you below, sir?
That's where I've been hit. Oh, Hardy, I'm dying, Hardy. Dying.
Bad luck, sir.
Kiss me, Hardy. Hardy, we're going to have to stop meeting like this.
Admiral, the French fleet are sailing off. They're running away.
It's incredible.
It's fantastic.
It's unbelievable.
And of course it's not true. But that is our version of Admiral Lord Nelson's most famous victory, named after the well-known London landmark, and forever to go down in history as the Battle of Piccadilly Circus.
And so the Angus Prune tune ends another edition of I'm Sorry I'll Read That Again, which was written this week by John Esmond and Bob Larby, Graham Garden, Eric Idle, David and Peter Lund, and Bill Oddie. The songs were by Bill Oddie, and the music was provided by Dave Lee. Those taking part were Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie. The show was produced by Humphrey Barclay, who was produced by Mrs. Barclay. So that's it until the same time next week, when once again you will hear your special announcer saying this.
This.
Hello, this is Radio BBC. Big B here talking to all you Big Bs at home. And it's on the hour. Big B News Time tells you less, says it faster. Dateline, Monday, March the 17th of February. March day, Monday. Date March, Monline the 17th. Date March, Monline the March line, Monday the 7th. Here is the news. Tel Aviv, New York, Siam, to name but three. East Grinstead, the leader of the Conservative Party, President Roosevelt, today spoke at the Tati-Pori Conference. The Tati-Pori? The Turi-Tati... Big B weather check. Wet or dry, hot or cold. How should we know? Over to Big B Weather Tower.
Hello. And storms forecast for the North Sea, gale force winds and heavy seas. As a deep depression moves in from the northeast and reaches eastern coastal areas about now, also heavy rain. And from Big B on the weather tower.
Hello. And number 17 on the charts and coming up fast is the Angus Prune Tune. I'm sorry, I'll speed that again.
And that tune means to us on dry land that Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie are with you again. And here with a personal message is none other than the voice of Big B.
I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Again.
Many people have asked us how the BBC finds out the number of people that listen to its programmes.
Excuse me, how does the BBC find out how many people listen to its programmes?
BBC find out the number of people that listens to its programme.
This is of particular interest at the moment because we're very proud to announce that last week's programme had a listening index of 3.4.
3.4? 3.4? You're
Bill.
proud of 3.4? There's more than that here, look. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, you don't understand.
3.4,
An index of 3.4 is equal to 17 million listeners.
How do you know?
Well...
It's pretty unlikely to be exactly 17 million, isn't it?
Well, there were 17 million listening, roughly.
What do you mean, listening roughly? You mean they had it on quietly, or they were watching television at the same time, or ironing the baby or something, eh?
All right, then. There were 16,007,043, roughly.
Ah, well, might as well call it 17 million.
All right, then, 17 million.
Anyway, how do you know?
I'm afraid I can't tell you that.
Why not?
Because I don't know.
I know.
You do?
Yes.
How do they do it? Oh, tell me, please, Bill. I've always wanted... Oh, Bill, please tell me. I've always wanted to know. I've thought about it nights. And, you know, I've had to... Please, Bill.
No!
Please! Bill, tell me. Please, Bill. I've always wondered about it. And really, I can't sleep at nights. No. Bill, I'll give you anything.
Every Monday evening, when the city is steeped in darkness, on the stroke of 9:57, a mighty but light-footed army of Chinese dwarves glide about the households, listening at keyholes and spying through windows. They are employed by the light programme and known as the Chinks of Light. And at the stroke of 9:60, if they hear this... they all rush back to the BBC.
To report?
No, because they can't stand the tune.
Keep talking, fellas. Dave Lee's just walked out.
But then, a team of trained BBC chimpanzees scale the rooftops.
Scale.
As it were, like so many chimpanzees.
How many?
So many.
How do you know?
Shut up. And they drop a microphone down the chimney. And then half an hour later, they pull it up again.
And what do you tell from that?
Whether or not you've got a fire in. And if you haven't, we get a recording of audience reaction. Otherwise, we get a little black charred microphone. Now, often we get this. Then if we hear this, we rate you rather poor. If we hear this, we rate you good. And if we hear this, we rate you insane. And if we hear this, we sell it on the black market and send a cameraman back next time.
What sort of reaction does I'm sorry get then?
Well, let's try this lot, shall we? Should be a fair sample. All right, then. All of you, one for testing. You, Sarah, 3 from the front. Let's have a laugh, can we, please, just for testing? Thank you, very good. Now, let's see if the rest of you can do something as good as that, shall we? Let's have a go. Right, all together this time. Let's have you. 1, 2, 3... Well, 2 goods over there, 3 insane on the left and 1 dead on this side.
What's the point of all this?
Well, it's canned laughter.
Canned laughter?
Yeah, well, it's better than the frozen stuff, isn't it?
Today, as you know, is the start of the state visit of their Imperial Highnesses, the Tsar and Tsarina of the Backward Islands. Covering this event for us, Edgington Hatch.
Good afternoon, listeners, from the backyard of the forecourt of St. James's, where there is a big crowd gathered, waiting for the arrival of the Tsar and Tsarina. And here they come, the Tsarina on horseback and the Tsar in his car. It's an occasion of magnificent ceremony and splendid pomp. And now the Tsar's car is stopping at the splendid pomp for a gallon of petrol. And now, as they come down before us here in Whitehall, the crowd is calling for the Tsar to stand up in his car and wave to them.
Stand up in your car and wave to us!
He's getting up, and they pull him back through the roof. And now we can hear the first military detachment approaching. Yes, it's the Lancers. And the Tsarina dismounts and takes a few steps. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, circle left and dozy-do. Promenade down, 2 by 2. If you've never been kissed, then to you. And slowly and graciously now, she steps forward and happily mounts the dais. Yes, happy dais are here again. And now the colour sergeant comes towards her.
How do you do there, ma'am?
And he hands her the colours. She looks closely at them, and she's chosen coral pink for the bathroom and off-white for the kitchen. And now the colour sergeant offers the Tsar the ceremonial sword. He reaches out and takes it. And bandaging his hand, the Tsar returns to his car and the Tsarina remounts. And as Big Ben strikes, we're due now for the 21-gun salute. There it is. And a direct hit first time. And so we come to the great occasion of the afternoon. The Tsarina is about to unveil the splendid new statue of King Ethelred, which is to stand here on Horse Guards Parade. And she's coming up now to the tape. And she's off! And she's galloping around the colour sergeant, over the standard bearer, along the red carpet, and away down Horse Guards Parade. And the Tsar's car is a little slow off the mark, but he's away and after her now. Oh, and that one just missed him, but the Tsarina's still 4 lengths in the clear as they go into the mile. It's over to Winford Farm Cleese at St. James's Park.
And as they come down towards me, the Tsar's car is now 3 lengths up on the Tsarina's horse, and they're both well clear of 12 policemen. And 2 battalions of the Household Cavalry. 1 battalion of the Household Cavalry. And he's trying to cut her off. Just listen to them as they come past me now. There goes the Tsar. And the Tsarina. And now they're approaching the park railings, and the Tsarina's up and over, and the Tsar is... through. And coming, Peter O'Garden at St. James's Park, Lakeside.
Yes, well, the Tsar is back in the lead now. Oh, and that's heading straight for the Tsarina. Oh, but he's caught it. Well done, well done, well done. And the Tsarina is thundering up to the edge of the lake. Her horse pulls up, but she carries on. And in. The Tsar has stopped at the edge. Just. And now the Tsar is out of his car and the Tsarina's out of her depth. But he's in after her.
as the Metropolitan hovercraft arrives on the scene. Oh, pity about that. And now the happy couple emerge safely on the far bank.
The Tsarina is wearing a pink suit with matching tunic, with a tufted duck on one shoulder and a stickleback in her left ear.
So, smiling happily. And as the Houses of Parliament sink slowly in the west, they take the salute. And here comes the final military detachment. Who can it be? Yes, it's the infantry. And so, as we return into the studio, I can only say...
Folk singer Joan Byers recently announced that she considered herself more a politician than a folk singer. Soon after this, Tory candidate Clint Ponsbury Crump announced that he considered himself more a folk singer than a politician. Will we ever forget his appearance at the last party political rave-up?
Oh, I hope so. Hi there, young conservatives. Gosh, I never thought I'd have a record of my own, but I've got something to sing about now, and I hope I'm singing it for my lady wife, and for Mr. Heath, and for Mr. Maudling, and I hope I'm singing it to all of you. Oh, I don't want no satisfaction. I don't want no girly action. I don't want to be your mate. I just want to be your candidate. So why won't you vote for me? Oh, can't you see we're on the eve of election? Madam.
They tell me that you're not profound. They say you'll never save the pound. Your economics let you down, but you sing much better than Mr. Brown.
So why won't you vote for me? Oh, can't you see we're on the eve of election, babe? Our latest manifesto has already sold 15,000 copies, and we should be getting another gold and white paper for that. Our last financial record, not so good, I'm afraid, but then it was a calculated disc. Good news for me, though, I'm to become singer of the House of Commons. Now all I have to do is record a Dylan song, and I should make the cabinet.
So take me on the back bench, please.
And I give you a credit squeeze.
We can Sonny and share a seat for two.
You vote for me, and I vote for you. So why won't you vote for me? Oh, can't you see we're on the eve of election, babe? Oh, can't you see we're on the eve of election, babe? Won't you vote for me, babe?
One love. Two love. New ball, please.
Your coffee, sir?
Thank you, Perkins.
Sir?
Yes, Perkins?
The men are getting worried about you, sir.
How sweet of them, Perkins. Why is that?
You've been on the bridge for 3 months now, sir, without relief.
3 months, is it? Aye, how time flies.
Yes, sir. And we've been at sea for a year now. We've only enough food for 2 more days. We don't know where we're going.
Perkins, what's this? Mutiny?
No, sir. But I have been told to tell you that unless things improve, the men will throw you overboard, sir.
Oh, but I can't swim.
No, sir.
Well, look, Perkins, strictly between ourselves, I've been frozen to the wheel for a fortnight. Didn't want the men to know. Bad for morale.
I'm sorry, sir. Talking of morale, some of the men are looking at you now, sir. Do you think you could jut your chin a little more? They do so like it. Oh, well jutted, sir.
Thank you, Perkins. It's one thing they did teach us at Dartmouth.
Where are we, sir?
Well, I'm fairly sure we're somewhere in the Baltic.
That's funny, sir. Isn't that the Southern Cross?
Look, Perkins, don't tell the men, but the trouble is I dropped the compass last month. I've been steering by watch ever since.
By watch, sir?
Yes, don't you remember your Boy Scout training, Perkins? Point the hour hand at the sun, and the line between that and 12 o'clock faces north.
South.
Oh.
Anyway, there's been no sun for a week, sir. And you lost your watch the day after we left Portsmouth, sir.
All right, Perkins, all right. I was lying.
I think you ought to steer to the right, sir.
Why?
Otherwise we shall hit that iceberg.
Which iceberg?
The one immediately in front of us, sir.
Oh, yes, I see.
Thanks.
Well done, Perkins, well done. What do we do?
You speak into that tube, sir.
Oh, really? Well, what shall I say?
Hard as starboard, sir.
Hard as starboard? Oh, what a funny expression. Do you think you'll know what to do?
Well, you can try, sir. I believe he's a bit rusty. After all, he hasn't had an order for a year, has he, sir?
All right, Perkins. Here we go, then. Hard a starboard. Hello? Anyone there? Hello, operator? Operator? There's no reply. We'll try again later.
So we still have a problem with us, sir.
What's that?
The iceberg, sir.
Oh, yes. Well, how are we going to put the brakes on?
No brakes, sir. We could try throwing a heavy buoy overboard, sir.
Oh, I think that's a bit cruel, Perkins. There must be a better way.
No, sir. A B-U-O-Y, sir.
Oh, a B-U-O-Y. But look, before we do anything else, perhaps you could unfreeze me from the wheel. Pour some coffee down my trouser legs or something like that.
Certainly, sir. Black or white?
Black, please. No sugar. Thank you, Perkins. That's better.
Another cup, sir?
No, that was enough, thank you. Now, what about this iceberg?
It's all right now, sir. We've stopped.
So we have? What could have happened?
I think we've run out of fuel, sir.
Oh.
We could burn those Aborigine shields you bought in Australia, sir.
No. They're a present for my wife.
All 3,000 of them, sir?
Yes. We play games. No, not the shields. Perkins.
Sir.
Did you ever row at university, Perkins?
I never went to university.
Good heavens.
I'm afraid it's goodbye, sir.
Oh, really? Are you off then?
No, sir, you are.
Where am I going?
Well, sir, you see that plank there?
Yes?
Just keep walking along it, sir.
Mutiny, Perkins?
Yes, sir.
Pity.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, Perkins. Oh, Perkins?
Sir?
Thanks for the coffee.
It gives us much pleasure now to present the first public performance of a new work specially commissioned by the Rhubarb Tart Marketing Board. It's called the Rhubarb Tart Song.
Join the Rhubarb Tart Sing!
I want another lovely slice of a rhubarb tart. I want another lovely slice. I'm not disparaging the blueberry pie, but a rhubarb tart is oh so very nice. A rhubarb what? A rhubarb tart. What tart? A rhubarb tart. I want another slice of rhubarb tart.
The principles of modern philosophy were postulated by Descartes. Discarding everything he wasn't certain of, he said, I think, therefore I am a rhubarb tart.
A rhubarb what?
A rhubarb tart.
René who?
René Descartes.
For Martin Dog, he was a rhubarb tart.
Since Wassily, Kandinsky, and Paul Klee laid down the axioms of abstract art, even Jackson Pollock and Piet Mondrian prefer to paint a slice of rhubarb tart. Wassily, Kandinsky.
How did he get in there for a start?
Read all the existentialist philosophers like Schopenhauer and Jean-Paul Sartre. Even Martin Heidegger agrees on one thing: eternal happiness is rhubarb tart.
A rhubarb what?
A rhubarb tart.
Jean-Paul who?
Jean-Paul Sartre.
That sounds just like a rhyme for 9 o'clock.
And so we
Remember whether you're an engineer, a farmer, tailor, wants on in the mud. Our advice to you is always go to work for the slice of rhubarb tart.
And now, pull your armchair close to the fire and listen carefully. for you will hardly believe the story I am about to unfold. The story of Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jibe. It all began one filthy November evening, which I greatly enjoyed. But as I hurried home through the dismal streets, I had a strange foreboding, and the wind. The wind whistled through the treetops, and I shuddered as the rain glittered in the moonlight and fell into the gutter. Picking myself up, I pressed on and eventually reached my house. Imagine my surprise when I found a message under the doormat, which I read at once. It said, "Welcome." Then I read the message. It was from an old friend of mine, Timothy Brown Windsor, and said that he was coming to see me next morning on an important matter. But as I turned to enter the house, suddenly, I noticed something in the doorway. It was the door. Next morning, Timothy Brown Windsor arrived to see me very early, just after dawn. In fact, I just got her out of the house in time. I asked him to tell me what it was all about.
Mr. Blackwood, you must know that I'm very worried about a friend of mine, Dr. Heckle.
Why don't you sit down in this chair and tell me all about it?
All right. The chair is a straight-backed Queen Anne Cherrywood Chippendale.
Yes, now tell me about Dr. Heckle.
Ah, yes. I fear that Dr. Heckle is in some sort of trouble. Last week he disappeared. We later discovered he had been locked in the laboratory.
All week?
From Monday till Saturday.
And nobody knew he was there?
No. And that's not all. He left this note.
It's middle C. I think we'd better get over to his house at once.
I think we'd better.
Yes. Dr. Heckle lived in a very seedy and disreputable area of London. Birmingham.
This is Dr. Heckle's house.
You rang, sir?
No, it was the bell. This is Mr. Blackwood. We have come to see Dr. Heckle.
I'm afraid Dr. Heckle is out at present, sir. Will you wait in here?
Who's there, Grimbling?
Master Brown Windsor and a friend, Mrs. Heckle.
Show them to the sitting room, Grimbling.
I've shown them to the sitting room, Mum, but I don't think it was very impressed.
That's a very bad joke, Grimbling.
I'm a very bad butler, Mum.
Brown Windsor, you never told me that Dr. Heckle was married.
Yes, and a charming woman, too.
You never told me he was a charming woman, either.
No, his wife. Shh, here she comes.
Gentlemen, I'm so glad you've come. Will you take a little tea?
Capital!
Oh, all right, a capital tea. Oh, I'm so worried about my husband.
Why are you so worried about your husband? Is it because he keeps disappearing?
And not only that, but the day he disappeared, there was the report of a terrible crime of violence in the paper.
And you think he may have been behind it?
Oh, no, we looked behind the paper.
I think we'd better take a look at his laboratory.
Certainly. It's down in the cellar. Follow me.
Right.
I'm so sorry, this is the attic.
Mrs. Heckle led us down to the cellar. The room was full of test tubes and beakers, and there was a cupboard full of retorts. Which I memorized for future occasions.
Mr. Blackwood, look, over here.
Let me see, this could be a secret formula. It's written in French. What does it say?
It says, une chose.
Une chose. This can only mean one thing. And it's terrible.
Took the words right out of
Yes,
my
and
mouth.
look here, look. Here beside it, a copy of the Encyclopedia Britannica. A good copy, but it doesn't fool me for a minute.
What are you all doing in my laboratory?
Dr. Heckle!
Yes? I simply don't understand this, and I would like an explanation.
Right, the story so far. Mr. Blackwood and Tim Brown-Windsor are investigating the mysterious disappearance of Dr. Heckle. When they arrive in Rotterdam, they find that Feldman has already taken the water chestnuts out of the cage. Alarmed, and knowing that Baron Cryer is on his way to Zurich, they decide to pay a call on the mysterious Dr. Heckle. Now read on.
Dr. Heckle, where have you been for the last few days?
What's it to you?
And what's it to you too, mate?
Please, gentlemen. All we wish to know, Dr. Heckle, is whether you were responsible for the hideous and unspeakable crimes of violence committed during the last week. I believe that you have been dibbling in block magic.
I don't like the way you said that.
Then you admit it.
Well, I can't deny it.
That's not what I asked you.
All right, then I admit it.
So you don't deny it?
Yes.
Do you realize what you're saying?
Well, I'm not too sure, actually. Oh, very well, I'll tell you. I have discovered how to change my personality, and even my physical appearance, thanks to a major breakthrough. I met him in a pub, and he told me where I could find what I was looking for. In the ancient mystical work on black magic and the occult, by the Egyptian Ramesses Pintok Pototoxanotl of the dynasty Cratylopраx.
But that's unspeakable.
Yes, it was rather difficult. Anyway, last week I completed my experiment, and by drinking this potion I became a different man. Watch this. I'm changing.
I'm changing!
Turn away, Mrs. Heckle. You shouldn't watch a gentleman changing.
There you see, I am no longer Dr. Heckle. I have turned into my unbelievably wicked other self, Mr. Jibe.
Brown-Windsor, we're really in the soup. Get Mrs. Heckle out of here. I've never seen anything so hideous in all my life.
Oh, I think she's quite pretty.
Take her away, man, and then go for a policeman.
Oh, no. Last time I went for a policeman, he bit my nose.
Do what I tell you.
All right, all right, all right.
Now, Mr. Jibe, I'm going to keep you here until the police arrive.
But aren't you afraid of me with my long yellow fangs?
I've seen better fangs in my time.
Yes, fangs ain't what they used to be.
Wasn't that funny?
Hello. Now then, what have we here? Evening all. Excuse me, sir.
The police?
No, I've just come to read the gas meter. This is the policeman.
Excuse me, but which of you gentlemen would be the unprincipled monster who has been committed unspeakable crimes of an hideous nature all over the place?
Constable, this man is your fiend.
He's no fiend of mine, sir.
I mean, this is the man you have been searching for.
Oh, no, I prefer something a bit more rugged.
Constable, arrest Mr. Jibe.
Very well, sir. Mr. Jibe, I must ask you to accompany me to the station.
What for?
Well, I'd like somebody to see me off.
You'll never take me, Constable.
Look out, he's getting away.
He's heading for the roof. Quickly, after him.
We followed Mr. Jibe to the top of the house, and then began a nightmare chase as the constable and I rushed madly over the rooftops. At last, I caught him. Then I was it, and the constable chased me for a little while. As for Mr. Jibe, he was never seen again, and that concludes the story. But if you're walking home some foggy evening down a long, dark street, and you hear footsteps behind you, don't look around. It might be me.
And with the Angus Prune tune, we bring to an end another edition of I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again. Those involved were Tim Brooke-Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, Joe Kendall and Bill Oddie. The scripts were written by John Esmond and Bob Larby, Graham Garden, Alan Hutchison and Bill Oddie, the songs by Bill Oddie and John Cleese, and the music was provided by Dave Lee. The whole show was produced by Mistake and Humphrey Barclay. So there it is until the same time again next week, when you will hear John Otto Cleese say once again...
Once again.